Next we have a fella. Huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you had a thing. What was your thing?
It wasn't relevant at all. I was just going to talk about this cat that's
You
looking
can
at me.
have a cat break.
Cat break.
You know what? Go ahead. Let's have a cat break. What's up with the cat?
I don't have any more rubber bands to shoot at it. All right, bring in the guest.
All right. Then next we have VGC Kenny, who wants to discuss, quote, I would like to talk about playing older games as the years go by. Is it weird? Do some games hold up more than others? Does the advancement of graphics mean a whole lot? Also, if you'll allow it, maybe I could just do a little shameless plugging at the end. We'll see. And then he says, thanks for considering. I'm still considering. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on it. So I just have to find his Skype name, there it is. So please welcome to Retsutalk, VGC Kenny. Hold for applause. He picks up. Please stand by.
Hello?
Surprise!
Surprise! Merry Christmas! You're on the stream.
Christmas. Yay!
Let's celebrate by discussing old shit. So, should I call you Kenny or VGC?
Either or is fine.
Alright, well, I'm going to stick with Kenny, because it rolls off the tongue and is an actual name.
Yeah, that's actually, like, I used to go to this site, but now we're all friends on Facebook, but I'm the only one that still gets called by their internet moniker.
Well, I want to be known by my internet moniker on my tombstone, in fact. That's how much doing Retsuprae means to me.
Okay.
So, Kenny...
Insulin and cheese.
So, Kenny, old games. So, for 2013, have you passed on a lot of the major releases that have come out this year? Are you more of a replaying old school kinds of things? Trying to be the best you can be at the old stuff? Talk about it.
Well, I did miss out on a lot of releases, but not because I wanted to, but because I didn't have money.
Understandable.
Yeah. I just started college this year, so money's kind of tight as is.
Mm-hmm.
But, I did get some old games. I got Jet Set Radio on the PSN, and I did buy Jack and Jack 2. Jack from a local game store, Jack 2 from Best Buy.
So, what is your favorite of the old school games? What is one you go back to over and over again?
Well, I guess it would have to be, my favorite game of all time, which is
Sonic
Crash
Adventure 2.
Bandicoot.
Oh.
Crash Bandicoot Warped.
I never played Crash Bandicoot. I missed that phase.
Well, it is by Naughty Dog, so... I mean, they make good games.
Mm-hmm. And would you say it's similar to The Last of Us?
Only that you are playing... They're actually, warped. You play as a boy and a girl.
Right.
So, I guess...
Lots of blood, very M-rated.
Yeah, but one thing I did want to talk about, with some older games like PS2 era, I know it sounds weird calling that old, but it is old now.
Yeah.
So, I've been playing Jack and Daxter on that, and also by Naughty Dog. And, when you save, it features the date on the PS3. And, right now it says, some 2013, and that just looks weird to me, because it's like a 12-year-old game right now.
Well, one thing I've noticed this year with old games is you see a lot of stuff on Twitch with people, like when I go to just browse the games list and see what's currently popular, there's lots of things where people are just practicing doing speed runs of your old games like Super Metroid. A lot of people do Ocarina of Time, playing as fast as possible. and like just really dedicated to it too. Like if they fuck up one little thing, then just boom, they start right over from the beginning and broadcast the whole thing, and people love it. People watch it like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I get that kind of mentality. I mean, I sort of have it with some things.
What do you try to be the best at?
I don't really try to be the best at things. I just try not to suck.
Well, not sucking is a very admirable video game goal. That's why I'm streaming Dark Souls currently, for example, and sucking, but
like,
not on purpose.
Like, I'm kind of good at games, but not like really good, I guess.
You don't have any MLG dates coming up anytime soon for Crash Bandicoot or Jak and Dexter?
What does MLG stand for?
Major League Gaming.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh well.
At least not that I know of.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny, any closing thoughts? Anything else you'd like to plug? You mentioned wanting to plug something at the end. After careful consideration, I give you permission to plug.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's just recently I've been uploading kind of stupidish videos to YouTube.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah. Well,
you're founding a whole new genre.
Anyway, I don't know, just two things I wanted to plug. I don't know if you'll watch them ever, but Beatus, you remember the video Voice of Dog made where like Tumblr reacts to the essay paywall?
I do.
Well, I just took the audio from those two videos and put Danganronpa sprites over it.
Well, there's a plug. Go watch it.
It's called Danganronpa Characters React to the Something Awful paywall. I also did make a...
I hope there's no spoilers.
I also did make a Retsutalk theme thingy, which is I just took the Sega Sky one and put lyrics to it.
Oh, did you send that to me?
I sent it on Facebook. Do you want me to send it on Twitter?
Yeah, send it on Twitter. I may have missed it if you sent it via the Facebook.
Well, I also sent you personally, like, something else on Twitter. LP Dirtbag by Beatus. Did you see that at all?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Is that a parody version of Teenage Dirtbag?
Yes, it is. And I just chose you, Beatus, because of the pun in it. Because, like, originally it was by Weedus, so Beatus.
Natural progression.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'll keep an eye out for that. Send it my way, and I'll check it out. But Kenneth, thank you for hanging with us.
What's the frequency?
140.85.
Yeah, Beatus.
Bye. I think there was a joke I missed there. Cherrydoom, are you still with us?
That topic really left me feeling like I was in a vacuum.
Well, you didn't think it sucked, did you?
No, I mean, I think we got a good clean sweep of the topic.
Was there a lot of dirt that you think needed to get cleaned up from that discussion?
All right. I gotta let this cat out of my room.
Oh, we have fun.
We do. I'll be right back.
All right. What was I going to say? I can't remember. I'll just kind of think about old games. That's a lot of what I've done in some of my streams is play old games. Well, you know, I'm trying to have a moment here, and you're singing to cats.
No, I was singing the LP Dirtbag song.
No, you're singing to cats. Do you still like playing old games, Cherrydoom, besides the Metal Gears?
I will play a Zelda or a Metroid if somebody is guiding me.
Guiding you?
Yeah, like me and Blue Lander used to do. We used to play Zelda or Super Metroid. She would tell me where to go, and I would go there. It was fun.
So you just listen to what anybody tells you.
Yep.
So you always need a GPS for games.
Yep.
For all games. Are you going to need a gaming GPS for Metal Gear Solid 4? Peace Walker?
I don't think so. Well, maybe. I've never played Peace Walker all the way to completion before, so maybe.
It's kind of hard to get lost in Peace Walker.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think you have too much to worry about that. So let's see.
I hear that Jedi fan 421 is here.
All right, well, let's go back to his topic then.
What was it? Didn't we already?
We discussed it between ourselves very briefly.
What was it?
Best indie games of 2013 and why.
God, I don't want to get into another Gone Home thing.
We'll
Maybe
say
I'll
that
just-
Gone Home is gone away from acceptable topics.
Maybe I'll just turn over and press my face into this pillow until I can't hear anything anymore.
Merry Christmas. What if that was the first thing that Jedi Fan 421 heard when you picked up? Was you?
Oh yeah, we can.
smothering
Yeah, go.
yourself?
Are you gonna call him?
I believe he's in the call right now. Jedi Fan?
Hello.
Shit! Now I'm the one.
Merry
who's
Christmas, I mean,
surprised.
is what she meant to say.
What's going on?
Hello.
Sorry about before. I heard it was the first guest, and I apologize for that.
No problem. We keep things loosey-goosey here. So don't feel like you had to be in a hurry to Gone Home to be here in time to pick up. Speaking of that, indie games, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
This was a great year for them.
It has been a great year. Lots of indie games being brought to the forefront.
Definitely.
What
I
were
think
your personal faves?
My personal faves were actually Papers, Please, which I know you were a fan of. You
I
talked
was.
about that.
Yep.
And also Gone Home as well. I really enjoyed that game, Cherrydoom.
Me too.
Yeah, I guess so. Those two, and also the Stanley Parable.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Oh,
a good. Yeah, can't believe
I
we
thought-
didn't mention that one.
I thought that was honestly the most interesting game I've played this year by far.
100% agree with
Yep.
you. Yes.
Yeah,
I played like every possible path in that game in one sitting, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, the Stanley Parable was just the way that I guess it really differed up like how you tell a story in a video game and branching paths and all that. I thought it was absolutely brilliant and funny and just nearly perfect, really, in my opinion.
It was like Kurt Vonnegut put into video game form.
That's, you know what? I did get some like Slaughterhouse 5 vibes from that game a little bit. So.
Cherrydoom, you don't like my comparison. Why?
Well, I mean, he's my favorite author, so I don't know if I agree with that.
It's the memento of video games.
No.
It's the help.
I think it's its own thing. I think it's
No, it
You
has
know.
to be compared to something else, or I don't get it.
just entirely metatextual. So maybe more like, I don't know, House of Leaves.
Thank you. That helps.
We stay highbrow here on Retsutalk.
Any other games, Mr. Jedi fan, that of the indie variety?
I'm trying to think. I guess it's more like I'm more anticipating indie games for next year. Like I don't know. Would Broken Age be considered indie? I guess not, because Double Fine's a decently sized studio. But I don't know. I guess just from this year, I don't know. Just Papers, Please, Gone Home, and Stanley Parable for me just affected me the most.
What
And I
about
think especially
Cookie Clicker, guys? People keep bringing it up.
Cookie Clicker, yeah, it's a very
yeah.
good free-to-play indie game.
I spent a couple weeks clicking on those cookies before I
weeks.
decided. Well, I'm not straight weeks. I mean, I left it on while I was asleep.
You were locked up in your room. Clicking away.
Oh yeah, people in the chat, by the way, are mentioning Rule of Rose and Spelunky. I heard those were pretty good as well. I just haven't gotten around to playing them yet.
I quite like Spelunky, but I'm not good at it. Shame to say. I've streamed it a few times.
What's with so many indie games being so difficult?
I feel like it's for me anyway. I just feel like it's almost like a throwback to how hard a lot of games were, for, like the NES, SNES, and a lot of people making indie games these days.
Yeah,
Seems like they grew up on those games, and they
the
were
gamer's
usually
game, not trying to appeal to a less experienced crowd.
It hails
yeah.
back to lesser-known games of the past era, like a little gem called Battletoads, which I've heard is quite good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Battletoads is another one of those games that just like I feel like if I play it, I just end up throwing my controller against the wall. It looks so goddamn difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what indie game I liked was Monaco.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard that was really
That's
good.
the heist pixely game, right?
Co-op heist, yeah, it's really fun.
Tell us about it.
It's very bright. The music is good. There are different classes you can play that have different advantages and disadvantages. There are.
So why isn't it called Monaco-op?
Good question.
Anyone?
Another indie game I like is Eldritch, mostly because the sound design is so amazing. So amazing, maybe pushing it, but I just really liked it a lot. People might be put off because it looks so much like Minecraft because it's made out of blocks.
Yeah.
But it's really good if you like dungeon crawling and
It's my favorite thing.
exploration. It's a lot of fun and very atmospheric.
Definitely.
Someone in the chat mentioned Risk of Rain, which I
Yeah.
haven't played a little bit, though I'm having some problems with getting it to actually work properly, so I have to reserve judgment for now. Like when I first started playing, the frame rate would gradually drop to nothing, and then when that got fixed, tried playing again, there was no sound.
Oh wow.
But the game does look fun in my limited experience with it so far.
Mm-hmm. And Angry Toad 1 is mentioning Kentucky Route Zero. I totally forgot about that. That came out this year. That was the first 2 episodes of that they're great. I really enjoyed that game as well.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
I've never heard of it. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, it's so like stylized and just really a very interesting point and click adventure game, and I really enjoyed it. It really is like an underrated gem of this year, in my opinion.
I will definitely check that out. I'm all about the point and clicks.
Oh, but apparently for RSC NYX, the game is second place on his list of worst thing in gaming 2013. So there we go.
Here we go with more gaming controversy. Bring out the swear words, I guess, as you argue about it.
Con.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got a little gamer
I'm putting
war
it back
going on here.
Excuse me, Kant. I respectfully disagree with your assertion that this game is the second best.
You're not allowed to
Declare
say
it
it.
is the second worst. You ignorant piece of shit garbage. Fucker. Period.
All right.
Have either of you played Brothers?
I have
Yes, I have.
I've mean to play it.
I've played it. It's quite good. It's very short, relatively simple to play, but it's good storytelling. Good experiment with storytelling in an indie
I wonder
game.
if it would play on my netbook, which is all I have while I'm here at my parents' house.
What type of notebook do you have, Cherrydoom?
It is a tiny Lenovo S10 netbook.
It's literally a
Okay.
notebook. That's why it's not working.
I've had it for like 4 years, 3 years. Yeah, it was my only computer for quite a while, so I have a soft spot for it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out Kentucky Route Zero, even if it's the worst gaming thing. Part 2.
It's
not.
almost like people have different tastes.
It's almost like people have different opinions that you just cannot respect.
And that's wrong. Hail Hitler, right?
Hitler. Tony 2013.
A game I really liked the look of, and I'm hoping. No, I voted for it to be next on the community choice, but it did not win. Is Mirror Moon, which is just a really interesting conceptual puzzle game that people should check out.
You heard it here first.
It's very abstract and strange, but
Yeah.
you feel good when you figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
The indie wrap up.
We haven't talked about Beyond Two Souls. Why haven't we talked about that yet?
Well, it's not an indie game, for one thing.
I know, but I was just amazed that it never came up.
Well, I haven't played it, and I don't know much about it, personally.
I've played it.
I've played it as well.
Well, okay, let's go into it then.
Yeah.
You brought it up?
It is. Yeah. Beyond Two Souls, for me, was not as good as Heavy Rain. I really loved Heavy Rain, personally.
Really?
I know a lot of people don't. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I kind of liked it until I liked it.
I liked playing it, Heavy Rain. I liked playing it, but then when I kind of took myself, the player, out of the equation and looked at the game from more of a bird's eye view, it got silly.
Sure.
I mean, that's sort of how most of them are.
Yeah.
Not to be fair, it's not most. It's all of David Cage's games.
Right.
I've played Horsemaster Tie Tuesday. Everybody should play Horsemaster.
Yeah. And have you guys played Omicron, the Nomad Soul? I think that's his first game. You guys heard of that?
No.
There's literally a part where David Bowie is in a club and he's like singing. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. So check out that game. Yeah, so that just set off the precedent of most of, or really all of David Cage's games having ridiculous stories.
I mean, they're inventive, but it's just not told well or something, or just like taken a little too far out of the bounds of reality.
Yeah. I would say, though, that Beyond Two Souls, for me, I just felt like tried really hard to take its story seriously at times when it just got so gonzo and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it just went, you couldn't take it seriously anymore. And I don't know. I personally thought Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe weren't bad. They just had really horrible material to work with, you know?
Right.
Yep.
Beyond Two Souls.
Did they win any awards at the VGX?
Best William Dafoe impression.
Goes to Ellen Page.
Yeah, really weird glitch that happens at some point in the game.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Jedi fan, anything else you'd like to mention or plug or remark on before we conclude?
Yeah. Just as quickly, I just wanted to say, Cherrydoom. I love your podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
50, it's a great podcast. I'm actually
just released
the guy.
A new episode.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Sweet.
I actually was the guy that asked you the question about what would you do for the movie adaptation?
Oh yeah,
of,
that was
50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that was some great responses.
Participating, and we got some good material off of that.
Absolutely, and and Diabetus, and I just want to say, like, keep up the great work with Retsutalk and Retsutalk. You guys do a great job, and if you guys want to follow me or whatever, and Twitter is at Dr. Pigott, or I have a YouTube channel, Jedi Fan 421. Check it out. So I make videos.
All right, that is a unique thing to do on YouTube. So congrats for that.
Very, very. I'm a unique snowflake in the world of YouTube.
That's 100% true. Aren't we all on YouTube.com?
Aren't we all?
Well, Mr. Jedi Fan, thank you for your time. Thanks for the indie chat.
No problemo, guys. Have a great rest of the cast.
You too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye.
All right. We are pounding through these topics. Been on for about 90 minutes now, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere thereabouts.
Yes.
So what other topics? I'm kind of getting to the end of the ones that I wanted to address. There was one from Giga Bowser. He wanted to talk about overhyped blunders of 2013, considering there were a lot of games this year that people were excited for and ended up disappointed with. I'm sure some could relate. Best games of 2013 would also be something I'd like to talk about, as well as upcoming games in 2014, such as Smash Bros. Simple topics that could be stretched to any length. So that's Giga Bowser selling
I
the submission.
think that
Yes.
the best game
Is
Birdo.
how come Birdo doesn't have her own game?
Does she never? Like even like a little.
Birdo's never even a Smash Brothers character. I think maybe appeared as like a trophy or whatchamacallit thing that you pick up.
Oh.
Giga Bowser, your thoughts?
Surprise.
Merry Christmas.
I don't think he's here yet.
I thought I saw that Giga Bowser picked up. And yet...
Yeah, nope, not yet.
Nope, Giga Bowser looks like ignoring us. We have our first Scrooge of Retsutalk.
Worse than me.
Well, you're not so much a Scrooge, so much as a Debbie Downer.
Man, that was my nickname in college too.
Fantastic. Well, it looks like we're not going to be able to talk to Giga Bowser, so we're going to have to move to a different one. And in fact, I noticed a few people messaged me since then, but I don't want to slow things down by reading things.
I'll read them for you. Aloud, very slowly.
Why don't you pick a topic?
Okay, I want to hear from that Serbian guy.
Oh yeah, I think I missed that one. Yes, this is kind of a vague description, but I'd like to add you for the Merry podcast tomorrow. What I'd like to talk about is gaming in the Clinton years in Serbia. NES knockoffs, Sega arcades, piracy, etc. Curious. Curious indeed. So if we can find... Where is he, Mr. Serbian? What is your Skype name? There it is.
Birdo.
His Skype name is Birdo. So let's call the Serbian.
Hello, surprise.
Hello.
Hello, Merry Serbimus.
I don't know if he's
it's not-
actually from Serbia.
Yeah, well, actually, I am. So, hello.
Hello.
Tell us about your lovely country.
Or whatever your topic is actually about.
Yes.
Well, I just want to talk about like how gaming here was in the Serbian years. So, in the Clinton years, not the Serbian years. Yeah. So.
I remember President Serbia.
Yeah,
Favorite.
he was a pretty cool guy. No, yeah, I know. As you maybe like know or don't know, we had like the Yugoslav wars here from like 91 to, as Wikipedia says, like 99, and like I mean, like in any war, like people were just too poor to do anything. So you had like, you know, the lower class where people were, you know, without money, and you had like a higher class where, you know, all the rich kids had all the new consoles, and you had the lower middle class where everyone had rich relatives who bought them consoles. So I was kind of like in the first group. I got a Sega Master System in '91, and it was kind of like a big hit back then because nobody even like in the neighborhood even knew what consoles were. So we had like a bunch of people just come at the door and play stuff.
What was the Master System? Was that the one that had the Sega CD attached?
No, that's so the Master System was the 8-bit console from Sega. So
okay.
it's what they made to compete directly with the NES, and it failed miserably.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, and you know, we had that for, I don't know, like it worked until 2002 or something, and then it broke down. But it was like the only console I had until then.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty weak. I mean, because my parents were all like, "Oh, why would we buy you like a Mega Drive or a PlayStation? You have the Sega; it works all right." And it was just, you know, until 2002, it was just 3 games, like Shinobi, Alex Kidd, and a very horrible Pac-Man game. But you know, when that became stale, we got like Mega Drives, and what people did here were
they had like Sega arcades, which were you take a bunch of TVs, you take a bunch of Mega Drives and hook them up with those TVs, and you use a bunch of pirate cartridges and charge kids by the hour. So yeah, instead of like having coins and one chance to play, you just had you pay, I don't know how much it was, like 20 dinars or something to play for an hour.
You know what this sounds
and
like? PAX East.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the Serbian taxis, only much more expensive in the long run. But yeah, we had like, I didn't know that until later, but apparently we used pirated cartridges for all the Mega Drives. I think the Nintendo ones were original cartridges, and it's why playing a Super Nintendo was much more expensive. And after that, when the PlayStation 1 came about, then all the Sega clubs, turned into Sony clubs, and everybody was playing PlayStations because it was much cheaper to get, a burned CD than a plastic fake cartridge. And you either had to pay up a bunch of money to play games if you wanted to play them, or if you had friends, you just go and leech off of them. And it's pretty much how it's how I kind of got into gaming. Just leeching off of people and playing a bunch of games, being overcharged for it.
Was everything, like, I don't know if you would know this, but like, were there any sort of games that were developed by Serbians for those consoles, or is it all just imports?
Like, for those consoles, though, I think we had since a few people had Commodores and Amigas, like we may have had some like very homebrew-esque stuff, like that people just exchanged in their neighborhoods, but there was nothing ever actually made in Serbia. Well, actually, what's funny is like when the PlayStation came out, like you'd expect people to, since we had like modded PlayStations and you could play pirated copies, you'd expect people to just switch that. But then for some reason, a ton of people started buying NES knockoffs. So we had like one NES knockoff which was called the Terminator, and you had like this big box with Arnold Schwarzenegger holding a gun and then a black cheap console next to him. And the reason people bought that because it was dirt cheap, and we sold a bunch of NES cartridges which were like 9,999 games in one, or like 9 million games in one. Yeah, and it was basically just 2 games. Well, not 2 games, like 5 games in each cartridge, and then all the other variants were random mods for the game. Like I remember one being Super Mario Bros. G was like Super Mario Bros. With God mode, or Super Mario Bros. M was with super low gravity, so you could just like jump over all the levels. It was pretty odd.
Yeah, I fell for some of those 100 games in one scams.
Yeah, and we also have, and then we have, since we figured out that the higher the number is, the worse the games are. At one point, we started getting so-called originals, which were 2 or 3 or like maybe just one game on one cartridge. Like if it was only one game, then it was Ninja Gaiden or Aladdin, and that was super rare and super awesome. So everyone just bought that.
Wow.
Yeah, but go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say and all that piracy went rabid until something like 2003, and then we actually got the first anti-piracy laws, and then you had all those people who were selling burned CDs, just digging them, like burying them in their backyard so they wouldn't get arrested. Yeah, and that lasted for something like a month, like all new laws in Serbia. It lasts for a month where they enforce it, and then after that, everyone who survives lives to carry on with their previous work.
Oof.
But
How
yeah,
Orwellian.
yeah, and then it was like after that anti-piracy law, everybody jumped onto PCs, because like you'd think if people have so much problem with money, they couldn't buy a PC. But what a bunch of computer companies here did was along the lines of, oh yeah, you can buy a PC that costs $400, but you can pay it in 36 months, each month. So everybody just bought that and then commenced pirating games. And then when we got broadband, everybody just continued downloading stuff.
So what's the gaming situation like these days?
Well, these days you have people either who grew up, who are still sticking to how they grew up and just download everything that's released. But I'm getting more and more people who just buy games now because they're so cheap on Steam that they'd rather pay $5 for something than bother with cracking it and finding a working torrent or something like that. So more and more people are just buying games. Like I haven't pirated anything since 2011, and I know a bunch of people who haven't just pirated stuff because they have so many paid games they can't even play those, let alone just pirating stuff to play it.
That's the kind of situation I'm in too.
Hey, when access is more...
And I'm not even in a war-torn country.
No, Texas is like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the
We're
US,
sister
Serbia.
countries.
Oh, awesome.
Texas and Serbia go hand in hand. Don't mess
So
with Serbia.
Did you ever get another console aside from the Master System?
Oh yeah, I did actually. So since I got a job finally, I bought a PlayStation 3 this year. So it was the first it was the first console I had after the Master System.
What's your favorite game on it?
Favorite game? Well,
for Master System and for PS3.
Well, for PS3 it was probably The Last of Us so far, and the Blaze Blue games, fighting games. And for Master System, it was the built-in game I had. It was basically the games that I already had. It was Alex Kidd and Miracle World and the arcade port of Shinobi, which were both I lucked out since both games were really, really good. And also the Master System version of Sonic 1 is pretty good.
Nice.
There you go. Very interesting history lesson, I must say.
Yeah. I mean, you did a pretty good job interviewing.
You did. You took a lot of the questions I was going to ask before I could ask them.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, you always have connected with the Serbian crowd better than me, so.
Yeah, I can sense that mental connection.
Yeah. So any closing thoughts? Anything else you'd like to bring up or plug?
Well, nothing to plug, so, just have happy holidays and all that. We're not celebrating Christmas here yet since we're not, special, but, happy holidays, enjoy the new year, and, thanks for all the retsupurae.
Well, thank you, and don't worry about not having Christmas, because I personally will bring Jesus Christ to Serbia so you can celebrate this blessed holiday. What?
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I learned a lot.
See, my judgment was sound on making you pick that topic.
It was very sound. Now I want to go to Serbia. I want to tour the great... it's like where they have war memorials and stuff. They have various piracy memorials around the country.
To all the CDs that were burned.
Oh, the great massacre of the 90s. Well, you did well with that topic. Is there another one you'd like to pick out?
A brief discussion on the mindset of bronies, coming from a former brony. I'm not a fanboy anymore. I've become disillusioned with the show because of its fans, and I'm willing to provide some insight on the movement.
I'm going to veto that because that has nothing to do with gaming. And nothing to do with 2013.
You'll find that the cultures are quite intertwined.
No, I'm going to give that one a hard pass.
Wow. Okay. Overhyped blunders. That was someone who did not pick up, right?
Overhyped blunders?
Overhyped blunders of 2013.
Oh, I thought you meant that was the person's name. I was like, wow, didn't pick up. That was an overhyped blunder right there.
Let's see.
And I'll also... We're coming towards the end of our time. So let's see if there's anyone else who messaged me since then.
Oh, yeah. I'll entertain you with a song. I'm just an
Oh my God, I need to find a new topic right now.
baby. I play games for money.
Christ, there's gotta be some. How about a talk about the internet community? What do you think about that? Has the internet gotten worse this year with things such as the some meme and bit strip, and do you think the internet community will ever improve? Also games. Interested?
Nope.
No? Are you vetoing this topic?
I think so. I don't know what he's talking about.
Basically, with various memes and other things that the internet gets all over.
What, like the Doge meme? No, that's great.
What is the Doge meme?
It's a Shiina Ibu, and he's got his paws crossed. It's a dog, and it says, "Wow, very, very awesome." It's very. I don't know what the original image is, but it's like just like a way of speaking that many people use. Anyway, I'm doing a terrible a job of explaining it. Maybe we should have it explain. All right, fine. Call that guy. Maybe he can explain it.
All right. Please welcome to the call.
Oh, God.
A guy with a happy Link avatar. Please hold for applause.
Much meme, very, very
Tell
viral.
me about memes.
Surprise.
And the doggy meme or whatever you're... Doggy?
Doji.
Doji?
Maybe? Doge.
Doji.
Doge.
Hello?
Whoa. Oh, boy.
Can you tell me about all these memes and what they mean?
Oh, yes. You're talking about the Doge meme.
I'm hearing like a dozen pronunciations since it's come up.
I've heard it as Doge. I don't really get.
How are you ever supposed to know how something is pronounced when it's not a real word? Can't give me too much shit for that. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know where it started. I heard like it's just like any other meme. It's posted on some forum, gets a lot of attention, and then it's just blows up and is just put to waste.
Everybody loves it, though. I haven't seen anyone who's tired of it. Anyway, what do you actually want to talk about?
I'm so confused. Yes, what is the question you have to bring to the conversation?
Just, do you think that the internet is stupider this year than other years, or do you think it's just like every year we think it's the stupidest year? And do you think it's like it is worse, or we just think it's worse because it's in the moment, or do you think it's going to improve?
I don't know if you can really put it into black and white terms like worse or better, because any internet discussion community is divided into little community islands. You have an ignorant pocket of people saying some stuff over there. If you want to pay attention to them, you can and get mad. But at the same time, they're also easy to ignore. Then it's not too difficult to find the stuff that you're more interested in or that is more intellectually stimulating. So I think that stuff still exists. I don't think there's less of it. I would say there's more, with more people flocking to various discussion boards or tweets and whatnot. So it's just a matter of finding it. Maybe it's more difficult to find, might be a better way to put it. I don't know.
I can see that. I guess it's just masked with all like the YouTube shenanigans and Facebook updates and stuff, just with the Google Plus, and just always seeing in my recommended stuff like, hey, here's this person that you've never watched before that has like one thing in common with all these other quality people.
Well, you have to be smarter about looking for the good stuff and not necessarily rely on an algorithm to choose it for you. So maybe to that end, it is getting dumber.
The links people send me are always stuff like, hey, here's this thing I think you'll like, and then I'm like, oh, but I don't.
One guy in the chat is saying, the person we talked to before, RCNX, is saying people are still using 300 jokes in their LP, as in the movie 300.
Oh, wow.
You know, the one thing.
Well, to be fair, the sequel is coming out next year, so there I guess.
Oh, 301's coming out?
Yeah, the second 300.
302?
I don't remember what it's called. It's on IMDb.
301, 2?
600.
600?
101 Spartans.
300 times 2.
Okay.
This time, there's 600s.
Actually, there's
They're working on the marketing.
I was wondering if you had heard about this. I can't remember the exact. I haven't looked at the update in a while. I think it's an indie game that's being developed solely through Kickstarter. I think it's called like A Hat Out of Time, something like that.
A Hat Out of Time?
Yeah, have you heard of this? It's like
It's a story about lost luggage?
Hat Out of Time or a Hat in Time. It's about it's like it's a platformer. It's going to be available for download if it's fully developed, and they might get a launch for Wii U. But it's kind of you've played Banjo-Kazooie, right?
A Hat in Time.
I haven't, actually.
You haven't played
I'm
Banjo-Kazooie?
such a casual. Damn it!
That's a really casual game.
Oh.
It's really charming.
So I'm not
game.
even... Wait,
I think
so
you'd really like it.
I'm not even casual. That's how bad I am. I mean, what is a level below casual? Do I just not exist?
Comatose.
Just dead. Inert.
Spreadsheet.
Yeah. But it's basically like a platformer. It's like a callback to N64, PS1 era platformers. It looks really charming, and I think it... I mean, I don't have any money, so I wasn't able to help kickstart it, but...
Looks kind of like Wind Waker.
Yeah, it does kind of have similar graphics style. It's not really like cell shading, but it has like a similar art style. I think it'll be fun to play, but since you hadn't really heard of that, I guess can't really get more insight.
I understand. Well, so we thought about memes, talked about internet intelligence. Anything else?
Yeah, I've actually I don't know why I feel like it's just getting worse, but
I do see what you mean. I definitely feel like there's been I've heard about a lot more controversy and stupid shit. I don't know if that's just because I'm more interconnected than I used to be, or if it's just because to the way that information sharing is going, it's just becoming where you hear everything all the time.
Or
and
gaming media is picking up on this information sharing more so and helping bring it to the limelight more, perhaps, than in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is that good or bad?
It's all up to perspective, I guess. You got to find the good in things. You got to find the growth. You got to look beyond what's happening immediately. See, how will this further progression? How will this trial impact my experience later?
Hmm.
Damn. I'm so deep in thought right now.
Me too. I'm trying to... No.
No?
I was wondering whether I should bring up social justice. That's the big thing now, and that's caused a lot of controversy, or is part of a lot of controversy. But I don't know if I want to bring that up at all.
I don't think so. Well, I like to keep this podcast light if we can, and I think that's a topic.
Oh, you
that's
mean firmly in the hands of the patriarchy? Okay.
Keep this podcast a certain 3-letter slang, maybe a little apostrophe.
Cash.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep it cash, guys. Look, all you gotta do, have some common sense, think about things before you react to them. That's all you gotta do, man. That's all you gotta do.
Just relax.
Relax, think, then speak.
Enjoy the moment.
Don't use your keyboard as a brainstorming session for your id-like thoughts.
But I do like to write down my thoughts sometimes if I think of interesting song lyrics or dialogue for some script.
Please share one of these. I will share a line from my novel.
Well, I actually I've written I think 8 song parodies. I've recorded about 4.
Are any of them as good as LP Dirtbag?
Are they parodies of video game songs? Because that would be very hard.
No, they're like Weird Al style parodies where they're not really just making fun of the artist. They're just kind of like a different topic, but using the same tempo and everything.
I gotcha.
I made one for Lady Gaga's Applause called Long Pause. And I'm trying to figure out if I can upload that on YouTube because it has the original instrumentals and I don't want to get like a strike on my account.
That could get you a content ID match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the revenue
Should
going.
be on the video game world.
You could probably use SoundCloud.
I did upload it on SoundCloud, but I have like 8 people following me on SoundCloud as opposed to a lot more on YouTube.
Gotcha. Well, before we part, A, did you want to read any of your parody things? And C, did you want to plug your SoundCloud or YouTube page?
I don't really need to read the lyrics out loud, but my YouTube is Ant Lion Alpha, and my SoundCloud is Ant Garrett. Garrett is my first name.
And you're an ant.
Yes, an ant lion.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I remember
AUNT,
you.
yeah.
I think I've seen you on some of my streams, maybe.
Oh yeah?
Maybe.
I don't have much of a life, so not saying that not having a life means following you guys, but
I recognize the name.
I understand.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Mr. Ant Lion, thank you for hanging and cashing with us.
And have a Merry Christmas, Diabetus, and have a very cherry Christmas. Cherry.
Oh boy.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Get hype for that.
I'm hyped.
Thank you, sir. Have yourself a good one.
Peace out.
Peace
Bye.
Walker.
Oh.
Right. Well, we are at a little over, I believe, 2 hours now. So I think if we do want to keep these at a reasonable length, we think it might be time to stop so I can divide these up into 2 and vomit them out into the ether for everyone's listening displeasure. What do you think?
I am looking forward to going to sleep.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, thank you for tuning in to this Retsu stream, Christmas/New Year event. First part will go up sometime during Christmas, second part during the New Year. And let's hope to have a lovely 2014 with Retsupurae, with gaming. Let's just have us a good time. What do you say?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Uh-huh.
Or are you going to just depress everybody until people tune out forever? Goodbye, everybody.
Merry Christmas!
Happy New Year. Here!
Happy New Year.